Welcome on into the 411 podcast. What's going on if you are out there? I want to say thank you so much for joining in. If you could please like, comment, share, tag your friends, invite them into the 411 podcast. I want to give a very special thank you to everybody out there on Facebook for supporting and showing some love. Instagram family, we are back. Thank you for the love and support on Instagram. Twitter is showing up lately. I appreciate that as well. We have Marcus Relaford coming in. Let me back this up. Stephen Marcus Relaford coming in tonight. Comedian. I'm not going to tell you where he's from, but you'll find out when he comes on. Another comedian coming through. I challenged him to make us laugh tonight here on the 4-1, and we'll see if he can go ahead and make that happen tonight. You can check out the experience on YouTube at Laren Gaines. Please go ahead and subscribe. And of course, you can get small clips of the show on TikTok and Daily Motion. Again, thank you so much for joining. If you are out there tonight, please go ahead and like, comment, share, tag your friends. Invite them into the 4-1 podcast. So, now I'll get into the song of the day. And I picked this song for a reason. Reason why I picked this song is because it is Gwen Stefani's birthday. Let Me Blow Your Mind, Eve featuring Gwen. I think this is one of my favorite ones. I know, she had, the stuff with No Doubt, but for some reason, this one definitely will always. I think I'm more intrigued by how this thing came about. Like, I'd love to speak to everybody involved in this process and say, how do we match up Eve with Gwen Stefani? And when you think about it, you're like, Eve and Gwen Stefani, not really. But man, they put it together and they made so much magic off of this. So I'm just curious behind the masterminds who decided to say, yo, let's reach out and go and get Gwen to jump and, do the hook. Like, how did that all come about? So in this case, it still blows my mind to this day that those two came together and made so much magic off of this song here. Eve featuring Gwen Stefani, Let Me Blow Your Mind, off of the Scorpion album 2001. And of course, it's Gwen's birthday today, so happy birthday. Miss Bethany, how you doing all the way from California? I think you might want to stick around today. Something to be very familiar tonight, but thank you so much for coming through. We also had, I saw Moraz Beats joined in real quick from France, and I saw G-Ster join. I believe you are from Massachusetts, something like that. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and rewind this thing a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm moving ahead, jumping ahead. Before I do that, I want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all out there for supporting, especially people who have held me down on Instagram. Brent came in the other night. He's from Ohio. Shared his story a little bit about his music world. So y'all can go ahead and watch that replay. Go ahead and click that and watch that and like it and share it and all that great stuff. My friend, Mr. Alex Coquito, all the way from Puerto Rico. He cracks me up. He has a show called Midnight Vibes, and I'm his co-host. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, head on over to his YouTube page, Alex Coquito, and you can go ahead and watch that replay. We spoke about the TikTok challenge where people were cooking chicken and NyQuil, mixing that all up together. We spoke about crazy amusement park accidents, which we've had quite a few this summer. We spoke about that, and relationships, all types of stuff. You never know what you're going to get on Midnight Vibes either. Go ahead and check that out. I want to say thank you to Simply Unique LLC. Of course, we have Stephen Marcus Relaford coming in tonight. Ro Wang all the way from South Korea. Danny from My Survivor Voice podcast. Thank you so much for joining. Shanti Refuge. She has 26 journals. She has been on a couple times and definitely supports the 4-1. And we also have Mr. Jason T. Davis from California. He's the reason why our special guest is coming on tonight. So very special thank you to Jason T. Davis for supporting the 4-1. We have Joanna Smith, and we have West Virginia, the Uncommon Podcast. Thank you for supporting as well. And of course, Mr. Will Serve. Thank you for always coming through. Appreciate you. Now we're gonna go ahead and rewind this thing. What book, what movie, what artist, what genre of music, what has made the most influential impact on your life? I had somebody out there write Stephen King movies. So the burning question is, what book, movie, or music has made the most influential impact on your life? And somebody wrote Stephen King movies. So I was like, you must have had a serious childhood to where you grow up and Stephen King books, it's like an inspiration to you. So I don't know. I'm not messing with you. I'm not messing with you, Danny. I don't know what goes on in Belgium, but apparently Stephen King books and movies and all that stuff has made an impact on his life. So better watch out for him. You know, people who watch me, the reason why this is called, the 4-in-1 podcast is because, one of my favorite singers, Mary J. Blige, I would say, when it comes to music, the whole My Life album is just it. I think that actually helped save my life. I know music saved my life. So when I can think of an artist, when I can think of an album, go-to one definitely is the My Life album. When I think about movies, especially being a father, one movie that has really made an impact and really changed my life is The Pursuit of Happiness, the Chris Gardner story that Will Smith played in. One of my it's like, to this day I cannot watch that movie without going somewhere mentally. That's how deep it is. That movie right there, I will say, did something and changed my life, to see the way a father cares for their child, what depths and lengths that they will go to make it work. The Pursuit of Happiness. So there you go. That is a recipe for, like, it could be kind of scary to have the My Life album and then end up watching that movie. Yeah, that's a lot. So those are the ones who definitely has made an impact. As far as books, to be continued. I mean, I continue to explore and read books nowadays, and I'm reading one right now that's just really blowing my mind. So I can't answer that right now, but I definitely have had music, movies, and now certain books are really starting to make a big impact on my life. So yeah, so that's it. So with that being said, sometimes when we go through things, we use certain tools. I say they're tools to help us get through to the other side. Um, and sometimes when you're going through, you trying to get to the other side, but sometimes you can't get to the other side. And when you do get to the other side, you realize that you're carrying some baggage, and it could be baggage from the past. It could be baggage that you're dealing with right now in your current moment, which we really shouldn't be dealing with any type of baggage in the current moment. Or you're thinking about future baggage, things that are not even there, and you're just thinking of some stuff. So which ones do you carry around most often? Flash dance. So funny when it comes. We're gonna have a whole nother session about movies and stuff. So many movies I've never seen. So I can't even relate to that. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. Basically, you can tell me what movies. Just basically learn. How about you tell me what movies you have seen? Because it'll be to that point where it'll be like, no, I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that. But baggage, past, present, and future. Which ones are you carrying around? I will say the baggage that I throw away. I throw it away. I throw away this bag all the time, and that's called past. But then sometimes I open up my front door and somebody has placed it back there again. It's like I can't get rid of this shit. I can't even like sell it to anybody. I can't even put it out on a curb and have somebody steal it. I would say that the baggage of past, because I'd be doing so good. Like I thought I threw you away. I thought I left you, you know, miles away, states away, countries away. Y'all feel that? But then it just shows up again. So I would say the baggage of past. I really would like to get rid of that. And sometimes the baggage of past could be a little tricky because then it could start to mess with the baggage that you got in the present moment. You ever have your baggage from the past start to mess up some of the baggage that you got in the present moment? I would say those two I carry around because I need to learn how to live in a moment and stay in a moment. I know how to live in a moment, but sometimes I just can't stay in a moment. So I would say those are the two that are a trip. Future baggage, I think I'm getting pretty good at leaving that alone. Every now and then it'll come back and I'll start overthinking about what's going to happen, next week and all that type of crazy stuff next year and planning things out in my mind. I mean, I had some serious future baggage. I was like planning things out for 10 years and, you know, checking it off and thinking that shit is going to work that way. The saying, you want to make God laugh, come up with a plan. I've come up with so many plans and he had one bigger and better than what I had. So, what type of baggage are you carrying around? Baggage from the past, present, or future? We getting ready to reach out to special guest tonight, Mr. Stephen Marcus Relaford. This is going to be a good one here tonight. Thank you all for joining in. Now you know. After it rings a couple times.
Hello?
What's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, that was a whole bunch of noise. What was happening?
Yeah, I just got off stage. Forgive me. You were calling as I had the 1 minute light.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you did your performance. So now you got that done. And now you can come on here and perform on here too. There you go.
Well, let's see. I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to translate on the digitally.
Well, you know what? The comedians that I know, the best of the best, they know how to do it. So you got some work to do.
Well, I'm here now, so hey, I'm here for it.
So first of all, how did you do? Did anybody throw tomatoes at you or anything?
Oh no, everyone was cracking up. I did. I always kind of. Well, first, let me give you the setup.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crowd work show, so essentially it's no material, and you're just playing with the audience and just pulling things out and seeing what you can come up with. So I go up like about maybe fifth. So at this point, a lot of the crowd work that typically people might already do has already been done, maybe even a couple of times, repetitively. Where you from, what type of work you do.
Mm-hmm.
So I just took a completely different angle, and it was part of the reason was because the room that we're doing right now is kind of just like a low level, I would say, open mic. It's mostly filled with some audience, but mostly comedians just working out stuff. So it's just a practice of like crowd work stuff. So
I got you.
I just kind of flipped the script on the audience and talked about comedy in the third person and like asking people what they're actually doing to build upward mobility, and I was making it funny. So I had like my disposition on stage is usually obviously to be funny, but more importantly to leave people with something constructive and a message to think about. So I was just kind of talking about the nature of comedy and kind of the ups and downs and how we are late to the party and on some areas of activity that we can participate in, and just encouraging people while it's still funny and making fun of people and just making it a lighthearted experience. And yeah, it was cool because you get to take yourself in directions that you didn't necessarily plan on, and it just liberates you to see your artistry in a different space and be stretched, and really just having the faith and the ability to breathe through the jumping from the unknown into
the known into the unknown, right?
Right. Well, it's to the known to the unknown, but
Or
there's
what?
just something else that you don't know is there until you make the jump. And it's just something that you experience as far as expression. And as far as like, oh, there's a new area of freedom when it comes to me on stage and what I can produce. So it was cool. Like I said, I kind of not surprised myself because I'm used to it at this point, but
Mm-hmm.
I always like to see what comes out of me in a room that is typically challenging or one that maybe typically looks kind of like, I guess, boring or like one that in a space, something that you might not be that enthused about.
Mm-hmm.
You may see something, it may be dull, it may look kind of dry. You're like, I'm not that enthused about this, and then that might be some of the best, candy or food or piece of bread that you had, just given the fact that you've actually experienced it. So that was kind of just like how I take on dealing with rooms that might be, more problematic or
I got you.
challenging. So that was kind of just my experience right now. And I actually have a show at 9 o'clock, so I'll be here for like another 15 to 30 minutes, and then I've got to go across town.
All right, so we need to hurry up. We need to hurry up then. So, where are you calling from? Let everybody know where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, California. I'm currently in Hollywood.
Okay.
And right now, I'm at the Third Wheel comedy spot. But, yeah, they're doing like a little open mic here hosted by Ashley Johnson.
Okay. I was actually in California, 2 months back? So I did a little tour of Hollywood. I thought it was cool. So I think it's cool. I think it's cool that you're able to, walk around there and all that great stuff. So that's good. You see any celebrities there? Because I know damn well hell I didn't.
I wouldn't say I ran into Jason Derulo a couple months ago, but I wouldn't say like I've met any celebrities. But I feel like the celebrity hood or the celebrity-esque is very normalized and natural here. So there are times where you can very well be in the same space or, rubbing elbows with the who's who of anything, or the latest or the up and coming of something. Yeah. So, and even in the space that I'm kind of in right now, the comedy chair that I'm in right now, a lot of people are already on TV and they're in that space already.
I think it's a myth. I mean, Bethany from California told me that I'll see some stars out there. I hear what you're saying. You said you saw Jason Derulo. I didn't see any stars. I heard a lot of people saying that you might see him, but I ain't see him.
But you might see him, but they're definitely tucked away. But it would be something like I think I seen a guy from is his name Jason? Who was the guy who did the bald guy, white actor? He did a lot of the high end like action packed movies in a car. He was kind of like basically taking a car and like filling it.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Driver.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
But bald dude. He's like he's acting.
Yeah.
But he's a British dude.
Yep. I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay.
I've seen him walking across the street. You might see something like that. He was just crossing a boulevard.
Okay. Like they all say, if you say so.
Yeah. Hey, you have to beat him, I guess.
Yeah, I know. All right. So I know you got to run, but I know you got a project that you are working on. I know first of all, how you got on this podcast is from Jason T. Davis. Do you call him Jason T. Davis? Because I do. So
I call him Jason. That's my bro right there. Jason, man. He's been really a cool support system. I met Jason back in 2012 through like activists and the Occupy movement, being out on the street and doing like civil disobedience. And I was probably maybe a year, going on 2 years of a stand-up at that time when I got really involved in that.
Well, he has come on and been on at least 3 or 4 times. So, he was like, somebody wants to come on the show. And I was like, all right. So he set this all up. So he's a good dude. So I appreciate him.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
And speaking of Jason, the guy you were talking about, I'm probably not going to get his last name right, but Jason Statham.
Yeah, Statham. Yep, that's him. Yep, that's what I didn't mess it up. Yep, that's what I was thinking of.
Shout out to Onyx Blade for bringing that up. He's known for his action movies, like The Mechanic. Okay.
Yep.
I know he's got so many of them. I saw some crazy stuff. Man, he did some crazy things in those movies. Like, really? All right, we're gonna get into to what I saw, but all right. So y'all working on this project, you and Jason T. Davis. You're trying to open up a comedy spot.
Yeah, we're trying to open up a comedy spot. It's very tough out here to support. I'll just start. Like, as far as comedy, it's very tough to build upward mobility, and it hasn't fully moved until like the independence and the decentralization, like music has, to where you can kind of just pretty much find ways to pop off on different platforms, and just kind of word of mouth and on the street and in your own little bubble, because comedy isn't fully like digested in the same way we consume music or other forms of media.
Mm-hmm.
With the struggle that I'm seeing is, specifically as a Black performer, a lot of the spaces in entertainment, even taking myself out, a lot of spaces around entertainment center whiteness, so it's like, in order for you to fully broadcast yourself on a wide, on a wide scale, it's almost like you have to appeal and align with the dominant narrative. And on a small micro level here, even in LA, and I'm sure it's similar in some other spaces, like, there's not a lot of space where Black comics can go work out material or build an audience or just.
And let me ask you a question.
A space to do their thing,
And is this anything new?
I wouldn't say that. No, it's not something new, but I think it happens in different like phases and pockets.
I got you.
I want to say 10 to 20 years ago, LA had a tighter scene on the Black comedy. There was a Comedy Act Theater that Robin Harris had, and then there was the Comedy Union out in Inglewood, and then you had the J Spot out in like Westwood. And now these are 3 venues, and then even back further than that, Red Fox had a space, and then you have particular nights like at the Comedy Store on Tuesday, which was one of their biggest nights, Fat Tuesday, that actually restored the Comedy Store when they were going through financial problems. The only night that was popular was the Black night. So I feel like it happens in waves to where it's a clear example why these things come up, why these businesses do well when they are around. But I think there's also elements that, there's no full community that can help support and keep them in for a staying power. So, like, you don't really have the same wave of Black comedy today as you had in the 90s, because there is no full space to cultivate it. Now everything is kind of neutral in a way where it has to kind of adapt and align with everything in the mainstream. And I think there's even more comics that get washed out in the wash of it all, as opposed to, you have Comedy BT and Apollo, and you have venue spaces. I think now, even across the nation, there's only close to about 30 clubs that are owned by Black people, maybe a little bit more, but I know the numbers are low. So that's just across the nation. That's as far as Black comedy clubs, So it's just going to be tough to get your shit off. And that's kind of the reason why we're looking for a place to establish ourselves and to build upward mobility with dope, Black comics who have already been proving themselves. They've already been doing dope things. They've already, have got the experience and put the reps in, and everyone loves it. a lot of these people have done things already and have TV credits, and that's also the thing that's so wild, that you have people with TV credits that don't fully have access to, the main clubs. So it's like a frustrating, like seesaw back and forth with trying to reach, a benchmark, and then the benchmark keeps moving.
Okay. That makes sense. That definitely does make sense. There definitely has been a shift. Sounds like you got a lot going on right now. I hear people in the background.
I had it here
Well,
at 6 o'clock.
Well, before you move on, before we run out of time, let's hear this wonderful comedy that you got. You got something for us?
Yeah, let me. What type of program you got here? Does people want something? You tell me about your audience. What should I?
It all depends on the night that you get, but you no holds bars. You say whatever you want to say. It is what it is.
Okay, all right. Well, this is a joke that I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I really don't care for white people calling me brother. I'll be leaving the show, and there'll be 3 comics in the space, and I'll be the only black comic in the space. And someone will say, "Good show, man. Good show, man." And they'll look at me and say, "Good show, brother." And I'm just like, well, why can't I be a man too? And then I think about it. Oh, there's like, for anyone who speaks another language, you have to filter your mother tongue in order to speak English. So for me, my mother tongue is nigga. And I already have to filter myself in order to speak to everybody else. And I realized that me and this white dude, we got the same mother tongue. It's just that he censored his nigga too. So when he sees me, instead of saying the word that he usually says, he says, "Good show, man. Good show, man. Good show, man, brother." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, I see. See, there now, and we need to institute a brother prerequisite. You need a brother prerequisite. I must hear you call 2 other white people brother in the same space in order for me to know it's real. Actually, the only white person that call me brother is Hulk
Hogan. What is that in the background?
Sorry for the noise, but yeah.
So what's going on now? What are you headed to another show now? Walking through the halls?
Yeah, I got a show on the other side of the valley. It's called the Ha Ha Club.
So, what are you gonna be doing there?
You gonna say that again?
I said, what are you gonna be doing there? You gonna be doing the same thing, or are you gonna be doing something different?
Oh yeah, I'll be doing something different. I do something different every time. I never know really what I'm gonna do until I get there. I think comedy is it's kind of spiritual, so it's all about being in the moment. So yeah, I'll figure it out when I get there.
Well, you got Onyx Blade laughing all the way from New York, so I think you're coming to New York soon, aren't you?
I am coming to New York. I'm in the New York Comedy Festival, so please come out. Like, me and my friend are going to be doing the New York Comedy Festival on the 7th and the 8th. We have one show at the New York Comedy Club in Gramercy, and then we have another show at Caroline on Broadway on the 8th. Mm-hmm. So we'll be there coming up next month. So if you want to come check us out, you can definitely come out for a laugh. We had a show there last month at Union Hall, and we sold it out. It was like 115 seats. So please, man, come out if you think you would enjoy what I got. There's 3 more of us, and we all do a podcast called Y'all Have to Be Here. So it's gonna be cool shit.
I will say that I've never been to a comedy show before. I would like to go to one, but
oh my gosh,
never been to one. But I actually, you know what? I take that back. I take that back. I have
Your
been
fans
to.
need to be heating
No,
up
no,
right now.
no. I said I'll take that back. I have been to a comedy show before. I have,
Okay.
but not like a. I don't want to use the term real one because they're all real, but I've never been to like the Hollywood stars before. Put it that way. Um, so it's hard to make me laugh, but I do like to laugh. So
No, you gotta go out. That's the thing. You gotta go out and discover like
I'm,
some
I'm
on the ground life. So just like watching TV, watching comedy on TV is completely different than experiencing a live show. And you really, there's people, there's a comic out there that has a disposition that you would enjoy. It's a matter of going out and be able to support them.
I kind of want you to make me laugh here tonight. So I'm gonna give you one more shot.
Oh man,
You think you could do it?
I think so. I don't know where to go with it.
All right. Go ahead. One more time. What you got?
Well, there's this silly one that I like to do. They say guys think about sex all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but there is this little voice in our head that says, "Nigga, where the hoes at?" Because we just curious about proximity and likelihood of sex. We ain't thinking of sex. We just want to know if I'm in the vicinity of it happening and could it happen. Not that I want to take it on. I'm just curious about where I fit.
I think it's different too when you can't see the person. Some of the comedians, right? When they're up there, they look funny. So are you a comedian that you would say you look funny just by looking at you?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I think I would consider that because I'm probably like a 5, really, maybe a 7 with a haircut. So yeah, I probably look funny.
Oh, that's crazy. You said you were a 5, and you're probably a 7.
Yeah, I'm like a strong 5, but like with a haircut, I'm a 7. You know when you barely miss the elevator doors? It's like the elevator was going down to the 7th floor, and they was pressing it closed as I was coming up to it, and I was like, oh damn, these doors closed up quick, don't they? Shit, y'all almost left me on the 5th floor with some ugly people. I got a haircut, damn it.
Your last bit where you talked about where the hoes at, Onyx Blade, are you sure that you're not a comedian? He says, where the hoes at? I bet a lot of heterosexual dudes think that.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not even always sex just sex oh, we just thinking about sex graphically sex. It's like, oh, we want the affection and the care and the touch and the getting to know. So it's like the sex is just like, oh, is there a companion nearby that I could have sex with? But I ain't thinking about sex like that. Y'all thinking I'm nasty, but I am, but I ain't.
Now, speaking of comedians that you look up to and growing up and stuff like that, and even to this day, who are like your top 3?
Big Gregory.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Mooney. And Richard Pryor.
All right. He was a storyteller, Dick Gregory. I definitely love him. Definitely a storyteller. And it was crazy because he has like that, I guess almost like a dry sense of humor almost. Like you're not going to be sitting there like just cracking up. After he says it, you're going to be like, did you just say that? Did he just say that? And you start laughing. I like that type of, comedian. I will say one of my favorite ones. I'm going to go through the men and I'm going to go through the ladies too. One of my favorite ones are Mike Epps. I absolutely love Mike Epps.
Oh, Mike Epps is hilarious.
Oh, I love Mike Epps.
Yeah, Mike Epps is hilarious.
I do love Steve Harvey.
Harvey, man, that's old school right there, man. Yeah, you got to get outside again. See, this is why I can't get up because there's people like you who still like Steve Harvey. No offense,
I mean,
No offense,
I mean,
but man, there's
you
been
went.
so many great comics.
I mean,
Steve Harvey.
you went back way further than I did. You did Dick Gregory, Paul Mooney, and now you saying something about me, something about Steve Harvey. Come on now.
Well, well, you said influence, you know, but like Steve Harvey, I think he's just still doing like the radio show and the talk show, right? He's not really doing comedy like that.
He has retired. I love Bruce.
Now Bruce is a beast. Now he just had a show here at the Microsoft Arena, and he's fast.
Lavelle Crawford, absolutely one of my favorites.
Yeah, Lavelle's funny.
Now I like old school Lavelle.
TK Kirkland, Corey Holcomb is hilarious.
Oh yeah, he definitely is a trip too. All right, so that's cool. Now, when it comes to the ladies, some more is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, Melanie Camacho, Monique, Mom's Mabley.
Yep. So, all right. I mean, I'm just sitting here. You had a nerve to say something about me and Steve Harvey, like you pull Paul.
Our new school, like Jill Christie, she's hilarious. We have her on our show all the time. Kimberly Clark, she's really funny. She was just on Tiffany Haddish, They Ready, their last little thing that they just did. Ariel Solomon, she's a beast in her own right. There's a lot of comics out here, you know, that are killing it, that are doing it on the ground level. And I'll just go back to repeat that. No, I'm not teasing, but I do want to encourage you to get out to your local scene and, you know, be willing to fucking see what's happening and check out a couple of different shows and give yourself a pass, because, you know, you might see a couple of bad shows, so you might have to go through some bad ones to see some good ones. But, you know, that's just the case.
Unless I go to Philly or New York, we really don't have anything like that here in Jersey.
Well, what area are you in now?
Actually, you know, I take that back. They do a lot of comedy shows in Atlantic City and stuff. I'm from Jersey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jersey. Oh, my boy just did his special out there. Steve Brown, the Beatle. He just did a special out there in Jersey. He just shot it himself and everything. He's funny. He's doing it.
Okay. All right. Well, you still got some time? Or are we up against the clock?
Thank you. I appreciate you and your audience.
Oh,
thank you, Larry.
You got it.
Cool. This is really dope.
You gotta go.
Oh, I thought we were winding down. My
bad. We're almost winding down. I was saying, do you still have time?
Oh yeah. I got time.
All right, good. Because we're getting ready to do burning questions. This is a segment of the show where I flip it and I put my guests in a hot seat. So the burning question that I have tonight is, what have you done on purpose to push people away? Like maybe there was somebody that you weren't really feeling. You didn't know how to break it to them, to tell them it's a wrap. What have you done to push people away on purpose?
Okay. I'm thinking of two different things. I'm thinking of like my less refined actions as a kid, and then my more refined adult actions. So as a kid, I remember I did something that was really rude. There was a neighborhood guy that we really didn't care for that much, and we were kind of bullying him. It was so one day I decided to make him a shake with instead of ice cream, I used like mayonnaise, milk, a bunch of other stuff, Cool Whip, mustard, and I served it up to him, and he drank it. And we didn't talk for about, I want to say about 3 or 4 years after that.
That sounds very nasty.
I want to say as an adult, I think, the smart thing to do is if you're dealing with someone that you ain't fucking with or ain't fucking with you, it's best to eliminate contact. That's what Dr. Neely Fuller says. Soon says to eliminate conflict, you must eliminate contact. So I think you just really want to remove yourself from the situation. I think if you do things like I did as a child, you're most likely gonna make things even worse, or just push people to go to war. And if you're already dealing with someone you don't like, they probably already ready to go to war with you anyway. So it's just on you. You choose what battles you want. But I think, if anybody's listening and they want to know what to do to push somebody away, you eliminate contact. So you ain't got to worry about pushing people. They ain't even there to push your buttons.
Well, nowadays they call that ghosting, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so that's very simple. All right, well, I'm thinking that you did something recent, There was nothing recent?
No, I mean, what did they tell you?
I'm sure you've done some things to push people away. You just don't want to say it on air here. I got you. You've done some things.
What they tell you? I know what they tell you.
Oh, okay. So like some things. All right. So now you want to be the comedian. I'm not a comedian, so I don't know. But these are some funny things that you can do to push people away. Like on a first date, you walk there and you realize that the person is not what they say they are, and their picture looks older than whatever. They sent you something from like the 12th grade, and here they are, like, damn near 50 years old.
Have you been catfished before?
I think so. Because not catfish like it's not the person, someone totally different, but stupid stuff like you're 30 years old. Why are you showing me your high school picture? That type of stuff. I've had that happen. But you could do stuff like you go on the first date, right? And you're like, I'm really not feeling this person. I want this date to be over. So you could be at the dinner table or something, and you could like burp, or you could fart. You could do something like that. That'll definitely push people away. I was thinking that you was going to give us something like that.
Well, I have been catfished before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I pushed someone away by just like lying, straight up lying. Before she pulled up, I was like, yeah, we're going to the museum. I got tickets to the movies. And then, we're going to grab something to eat, smoke a little bit, and then we're going to see what we can do. And then when I seen her get out the car, I was like, oh, we just going to smoke. We don't need to see anything else we can do. We just smoking and that's it. Because I'm not going to the movies. I'm getting a refund on these tickets.
That's terrible.
She is not who she said she was. Okay? And I straight up was like, all right, we're going to smoke and I got to go.
That reminds me of Chris Tucker from Friday when she got out the car.
She looking like Freddie Jackson.
You said she looked like Janet Jackson. Oh, that is funny. Okay. All right. Well, I thought I was going to get a little bit craziness out of you, of some crazy. But that shake, though, was really surprised you didn't get into a fight over that.
No, but she was ugly enough. Because if you played any video games, even Scorpion would have been like, stay over there.
Instead of get over here, stay over there.
stay over there. Stay over there.
All right. So before you get out of here, if you can let us all know where we can follow you at, tell us about that GoFundMe for the comedy project, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, tap in with Jason T. Davis for the GoFundMe. He has a website, and he has a GoFundMe link for it. And on his Instagram, it's on my Instagram too. You can follow me at Stephen Marcus Relaford. And on Twitter, it is Spliff Nation, Spliff_Nation. So we're looking for followers on our YouTube. We have a YouTube channel that we're traveling around to do our Y'all Had to Be Here podcast. And that's the one that we're going to New York for. So our YouTube channel is Y'all Have to Be Here, just YHTHB. You can just spell it all out.
Y'all, so what is it? Y'all have to be here?
Yeah, y'all had to be here.
Okay.
Yep, we drop an episode every Monday. We just dropped the episode earlier today. And we're just looking forward to the growth, looking for people to tap in and leave comments and share it. And if they like it, they rock with it. We're actually giving away 2 tickets to our New York show. If you, share our podcast with 5 people and you tag 5, local comedy clubs in your area. So if you check out the podcast and you like what we do, you like our stand up, tag a couple of comedy clubs in the local area, because it's just like music. It's just like requesting, a song on the radio. If you like the song, you want to request it. Is there a product that you want in your grocery store? You let the people know, and they'll start having it in there. So that's kind of what it is about this independent DIY grind. You kind of just like have to put the word out there and let people know what you're rocking with, what your interests are. So that's where we're at. Y'all have to be here. You can also check me out on the Deaf Noodles podcast. It's a show that we live stream Monday through Friday from 10 to 1, and I'm also on the Vegan Chitlin Circuit. The Vegan Chitlin Circuit is with me and 2 other comics based out of New York, Ryan Thomas and Grace Johnson. It's an audio podcast where we just talk about really cool Black stuff and comedy stuff.
Has nothing.
Check that out. But
has nothing to do with food, right?
That's all me. That's me.
So the it's called the Vegan Chitlin Circus, and it has nothing to do with food, right?
Nothing to do with food. No.
When in the hell do you sleep? You got 2 shows tonight. You did a podcast, and you do one Monday through Friday. So you're going all throughout the week. What do you sleep during the day and up at night?
I sleep on the weekends. Typically Saturday, I got some sleep this past weekend. I'll get some sleep tonight. I'll get at least 4 to 6 hours a night, and then I'll be right back at it again. But I'm working until I can lead the life that I know that I can lead, which is essentially performing the ways that I would like to, quality stage time, getting paid what my value is, producing shows, films, directing, and just being an all-out, heavy hitter in Black entertainment and just entertainment at large. I'm surrounded by a lot of creative people, a lot of dope people, and it's just a matter of time until we continue to move, and our shine will be granted.
I got a friend that might could help you get to where you need to get to. And you know what? One day,
I would love that. I'm to exhaust any.
And one day, but I need you to hear me out though. One day you might come across my friend who could actually help you. Because he has a lot of experience with this, and I call him a friend in my head, and I think that he listens to the 4-in-1 podcast. I would like to think that he does, and I know one day he might listen to it, and you might come across him, and you might need his help. You want to know what his name is?
Yeah,
Steve Harvey.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
And that's funny. Hilarious. You better be careful what you say, because
that's hilarious.
You might need him one day. I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got the same name, so I'm sure that we will. And I wasn't saying nothing wrong about Steve. I just feel like if you go out in the street right now and you ask people like, what's their favorite music artist? Mm-hmm. They're going to give you some music artists that you may know, but they're going to throw in like 2 people who they want to put you on, because music is digested differently. Everyone wants to be on the new stuff. But if you ask 5 people who their favorite comics are, they're typically going to give you comics who are already established, whether they're old or not. They're going to give you comics that are established that you would know. But no one's ever like, let me put you on to this comic in a way that music is. So it's just someone who participates in it. I think it's very tough to get a new audience on new art when, we just have so ingrained of like the people who've already done it before us, But respect to all the people, Steve Harvey and all the people who did kind of work before us. I wouldn't be doing it if they didn't lay the examples out. So I'm just here to
absolutely
do it better.
And the life that you're living right now, trying to, make it work. His story, I think, is unbelievable. Not even just the comedy aspect of it, just in general. Somebody who's trying to make it work, following their dreams, following a path. That's why I always look up to him. But, I could be a little comedian too, in a roundabout way, with that weird, dry sense of humor that I got. So, well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. And I will definitely,
thank you.
Definitely will post up everything as far as the comedy club and the GoFundMe and all that stuff. So I'll put that out there.
I appreciate you, and I thank your audience too for tuning in. And keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing some cool ass shit, and I appreciate it, man. This is what it's about.
Not a problem, and I want my free tickets too. So yeah.
Oh, you got it. Let me know when you're popping up. And you're there. You got it.
All right, I got you. Take care now.
Take care.
All right,
Bye.
see ya. All right, y'all. So there you have Stephen Marcus Reller coming in all the way from California. I want to say thank you so much to all of y'all out there for joining. If you were out there on Facebook, I want to say what's up. Thank you for tuning in. If you would really like to support the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines, please go ahead and head on over to YouTube and like a bunch of things, comment on a bunch of things, share, subscribe. I definitely would appreciate that. And again, you can get small clips of the show on TikTok and Daily Motion as well. Very special thank you to Onyx Blade for coming through out there tonight. I appreciate you. Bethany was out there, Aspire to Fly, Lizzie Collins. I don't know if y'all still out there on Instagram, but thank you so much for coming in. So, of course, I could not do this without each and every one of you out there for supporting again. I want to say thank you. And of course, without my executive producer, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give y'all the 411 podcast one more time in life. Without him, none of this would be possible. I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. And at that moment, what is the point? So I got to give credit where credit is due. And now we have Dominique coming in this week. She'll be here tomorrow. I have Birdman, someone that I met on Twitter. He's going to come through for Reading Between the Wines this week. That is at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Other than that, we have show after show after show after show, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. And again, if you would like to support, you can go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms, and you can go inside of Volume 1.5, The Liberation Remix Journal. This is a transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. I give you a journal that's based on getting it together the best way you know how to do it within 30 days. We talked about past, present, future. I'm telling you a little bit about my past. I'm letting you know where I'm right here today and my world today. And now that I'm here and I understand, we don't want to stay here. So I'm writing some great positive affirmations about where I like to see myself at in the future. And I leave it open for you to do the same because this is a remix journal. You got a whole bunch of space in there to go ahead and write what you feel about your world and where you want to be and where you're going to go. And remember, at the end of the day, nobody gets to tell me who I am today. I tell you who I am today, especially after living so many years of somebody else telling you who you are, what you're going to be, where you're going to go, where you can't go, what you're going to do, all of that stuff. All of a sudden, we woke up. We got a little bit of confidence. We understand and we know where we're going. Volume 1.5, The Liberation Remix Journal. Click that link above, my social media platforms, and go ahead and support the best way that you know how. And on that note, I will see you here tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Special guest tomorrow, Dominique. Take care, y'all. Have a good night. Thank you.